Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a super exciting one because we are going to be recreating a look that I saw on the one and only Zendaya. So I was on Instagram and I saw that she recently posted this makeup look and I was absolutely in love with it. It's super simple, but it's all about the eye and her skin. So I thought it would be so much fun to sort of just channel this inner Zendaya and try and recreate this makeup look. So if you would like to see what the final look looks like, what items and products I use to create the look, well then just keep on watching. So for starters, we are going to begin with the base. So I have the picture right here and that's just kind of what I'm looking at, and her base seems to be matte with a little bit of glow. So I'm gonna just do foundation, concealer, and some bronzing, and then we'll come back together once that's complete so that we can really focus on the eyes, on the brows, and on the lips. That's kind of when I look at this look where my eyes automatically go to, so that's what I want to pay specific detail to. So the foundation that I'm going to be using is going to be the Hourglass Vanish in the shade Sand. I actually just recently picked this one up and I did remember liking it, so I'm going to just try it again and see how that works. I will be priming with my Natasha, the Dewy Skin Cream, which I absolutely love to just moisturize. I will be using my Hourglass Vanish Concealer in the color Dune, as well as my Essence Camouflage in the color Light Honey. And I'm just using this one to really highlight, and this one just sort of to cover up the dark circles and things like that. We'll set with my beloved Fenty powder, and then we'll come together again and work on the base. So foundation, concealer, and powder are on. We have our base going, and now I'm just gonna bronze up the skin. I'm gonna be using this mattifying powder foundation from this company called Found, and I really love it just because they have a lot of color selections, so it's easier for you to be able to just find a bronzer that works for your undertone, because for the most part, bronzers can be a little hard to find because they usually always lean red. So if you're sort of golden or on the warmer side like I am, it really sometimes just looks way too red. So I enjoy using powder foundations to just be able to better find a color that suits me for bronzer. So I'm just gonna take that and warm up the skin so that we are nice and bronze. I'm also just gonna take this Essence Luminous Bronzing Powder just to go over that bronzer that I just put, just to be able to add a little bit of a luminous finish to it. I absolutely love that Essence powder, and I think it's great for sort of just topping off your bronzer as is. On its own, it really is really pretty too, but it does lean more on the red side, so I like to apply it with another bronzer that I have on just to be able to give that really pretty bronzy finish. I have my powder just sort of to clean up underneath. So now we can jump into blush. So like I said, in the picture, Zendaya has a really pretty peachy blushy color. So I am going to be using my Anastasia blush trio in the color Peachy Love. And I think I'm going to be mixing this blush color with some of this one just to be able to add that really pretty blushy look to the cheeks. So I'm just going to take some of that and kind of just place it on the cheekbones to really make this look nice and peachy. So let's just plop that on here. Looks so beautiful. I absolutely love this trio. I think it is such a beautiful color combination, and you really get a little bit of both. So once again, with and without. So just really placing it right here to make sure that the cheeks look nice and blushed. And I'm also just gonna apply a little over the nose as well, just to create that full tan flushed look all around the face. And putting it over the nose just kind of ties in the cheeks as well. Bring it a little bit up here. So this is what the skin is looking like so far. I love how it looks, and then now we will be able to kind of go into the highlights. Zendaya's looks are for the most part mostly matte, but then she usually always has some glow specifically on the cheeks to just make her skin look super hydrated and young. I'm gonna start with a powder highlight, and I'm going to be using my Natasha Denona I Need a Glow highlighter, and this one is just a beauty. I got it as a birthday gift and I am obsessed with it. Thanks, Tiffy Boo. And I'm just gonna apply that to the tops of the cheekbones just to start that initial highlight effect and just add some glow to the skin. So I'm just gonna apply that nicely here, and typically to all the places where I would put highlight to just be able to accentuate those points of my face, but also just to add that really pretty glowy effect. And what I love about this highlight is it does not have any like glitter specks, so it's definitely just a nice sheen on the skin, and it just looks so beautiful and wet. Once again, if you can see, I have sort of like a little trend going on of highlighters that I just like to give me that wet effect, whether they are liquid, cream, or even powder. And there are clearly powder highlights that can give you that wet effect. So this is definitely also just one of those. Such a beautiful, beautiful highlight. For the most part, our base is all done. We have our peachy, highlighted, glowy base look that now we can move on into the eyes, which is the most exciting part. Okay, so one eye is complete and I am absolutely in love with how it came out. So let's get started on doing that same thing to the other eye. So the first thing that I did was I took the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eye pencil, and we're just gonna do sort of like a rough sketch of that wing line, because the look that Zendaya has is sort of just like a blown out intense liner. So I'm just going to take this and kind of just do a rough, let me not mess this up, so I'm just trying to bring it out, just doing a rough line, and then we're just gonna bring it sort of just like halfway in through here. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna go on with other things in. We're just gonna sort of just do this so that we have a base to sort of just be able to follow through with our brush. So I'm just making sure that it looks the same, and then with that we're just gonna take an angled brush, and I was using this ColourPop one, which I love. It's the E30, and as you can see, it's like super thin, and it's really good for liner. So I'm just going to go over that, and we're gonna just kind of straighten out that line and also just blend that liner out so that we can get a more precise line and it can start looking a little better. So as you can see, we sort of have that base, and since I have really hooded eyes, I am just kind of bringing it in a little more than she has there, just because that's kind of just a little touch that I want to give it. And also I just want the black liner to be intensified a bit more. After we already have that gel liner down, I'm going to go in with the Tati Beauty palette, and I'm going to go specifically with this color black and just put that on top of the liner to sort of set it, and also once again intensify that black using the same brush. So I'm just going to take that and just literally go over the black liner that I already have, just to, like I just said, intensify and also just set that gel liner so that it's not sliding all over the place. And then with another brush, I am going to start incorporating some brown just so we can start blending it in. I sort of just did that on this side to just be able to transition the black into my natural eyelid color a bit better. So I'm just going to take a blending brush, and I'm going to take the color, well, this one from the Soothe Color Story, and we're just going to start patting that over to just slowly be able to start blending that black and brown into each other. So we're just gonna place that on top and then do little circular motions with it. And I have another brush that I'll be blending a little bit even better, but for now I just want to put that base down and put it on top of the black so that we can start blending it into each other. So that's what I'm gonna do. And so with this smaller blending brush, I am just going to take a bit more of Soothe, and with that we're just going to focus it more on this part of the eyelid to just really make sure that that black and brown are blended together so that it's not you know, we don't see any harsh lines or anything like that. So we just want to make sure everything is blended really nicely into each other. I'm even going to take it just in here, and then we can always just come back and intensify the black or vice versa. On another brush, I am going to go into this color, Aura, and I'm just going to put that in the sort of like the inner corner part of the eye to just brighten it a bit. So we're going to put that right here and just also once again slowly blend that into the brown so that we can get a nice smooth transition of brown to black and nothing looks super harsh. So I'm just once again putting it there and then blending it all out and keeping it within that same area. On the other side, I'm just going to go into that brown and make sure that everything is nicely blended together. I think that's like the main the most important part of this eye, just making sure that all the colors that you're putting, which are not much, blend together. But since it's such a contrast between the black to such a light color, you definitely want to make sure that all of those colors are blending well together. Okay, so now that all of those colors are kind of blended in together, I am just going to take this clean flat brush that I have here, and I'm just rubbing it up against a makeup wipe so that it can be a little wet, just so that we can go around the edges and clean up. Because I want it to be nice and defined, I want the line to really follow that shape. I'm just gonna go and make sure that the line is nice and sharp and cleaned up. You can also go in with some concealer later down the line, but for right now, I am just going with this brush. So the final step for the eyelid is gonna be to apply a beautiful top coat, and this is the Natasha Denona Crystal top coats in the color bronze, and I love this. This is so beautiful. It's just one of those top coats that really just help make your eyelid look wet, and it is just such a beautiful top coat to just put over the eye, honestly, for any kind of look. So when I saw that, this was literally the first thing that came to mind. So I'm just going to take that on a brush, and we're just going to run that across the lid to bring a nice reflective look. I'm just going to take my finger for the initial application because I think it does apply better this way, and then we'll just make sure that all the areas are covered with the brush. But for now, we're just going to use this. And as you can see, it really just gives that beautiful wet look to the eyes, which is just beautiful. I hope you guys can see it. I'm trying to make sure that I'm moving it around just so you can see it in the camera, and it just looks so beautiful. I am obsessed with this. They have it in a few colors, and I have all of them. The only sad thing is that they kind of dry out quickly, but you can always still use them that way. But I think they're such a beautiful eye topper. So I'm just really taking that and really making sure that every part of the eyelid is covered with this glitter, just so that we have that really beautiful reflective look on the eye. And that's pretty much what I'm doing on there. And then we're just gonna once again touch up the black and the brown, and that's really what it is, just making sure that everything looks nice, blended, and seamless. And then we'll move on to the lower lash line. Using that same pointer brush, we're just going to apply a small amount of that black to the outer corner of the lower lash line, because she does have a really thin black line underneath, which I think looks so beautiful. So I'm definitely just going to apply that just like that. And one thing I saw is that she has a nude liner on the waterline. So I did that as well on the other side. And I'm just gonna take this nude ColourPop liner and apply that to the lower waterline. And that pretty much is the entire look as is. I'm just gonna curl my lashes, put on some mascara, and then we'll move on to the brows and the lips. Okay, so eyes are all done and I am in love. The mascara that I use is actually a new one, and this is the L'Oreal Air Volume Mascara, and I love how it looks. Like I said, I don't really like to ever put lashes on, so I do just like putting mascara and layering it, and it really does give you length, like intense length, which I am here for. Love that. So moving on to the final steps of this look, Zendaya is all about her brows. She's just she's gifted with great brows. Not all of us are, but I definitely like that she has sort of like that soapy brow with the eyebrow hairs pointed upwards and then just slightly filled. So I am going to be using my Patrick Ta Shaping Wax. I think that this one is one of the best waxes that I have used so far to just really be able to put the brow hairs to go up and also just stay in that form. And I love that when I do this first, I feel like I don't have to apply that much brow product afterwards because it does such a good job at just lifting the brow as is. So I really do enjoy that. So I'm just gonna take that. I sprayed it with some setting powder and I'm just going to, oop, I think I put too much because now it's super wet. But I'm just gonna brush my hairs in an upward motion just to make sure that they are nice and lifted, because that's how her brows are and they look phenomenal. So that's the brows so far. We'll just let them sort of set for a little bit. So we'll just quickly move on to the lips and then we'll come finish off the brows and then the look is complete. She has peachy glossy lips. So I think that we can go in with this Kylie Jenner lip color in Exposed, and I don't want to put too much. I just kind of want to create just a little base here and in the edges just to create a nice clean peach look. And then we are going to go over with a lip gloss or oil. So the gloss that I want to go into is a ColourPop one called Playa Vista, and it's this really pretty peachy color, and I am just going to apply that over the lips to intensify that peachy look and also just moisten the lips because she does have glossy lips. And I see too that she kind of like does an over, like the gloss sort of goes over her lip line. So I'm just going to make sure that it looks nice and put together. Once again, we're just going to finish filling in the brows and then the look will be complete. So the brow product that I'm going to be using is this super precise pencil from a brand called Refi, which I found on Instagram. And what I love is just how skinny the pencil is, and I think that is just great for sort of being able to apply hair-like strokes on the brow. So that's really all I'm gonna do. I'm not really gonna do much to the brows because, like I said, her brows are like naturally just beautiful as is, so she just has them all going upward and just sort of just looking put together. So that's really all I'm just gonna do, fill in kind of just sparse places, and that's that. Okay guys, so that pretty much concludes this tutorial of how to get a similar look to the one that Zendaya had. I absolutely love how this looks. I'm just looking at myself in the mirror and I think it looks so cute. Once again, a look that I feel like I would not have come up with on my own, but just being inspired by that allowed me to go into my collection and take out items that would easily help me to recreate this look. We have the really pretty glossy cheek look and the glossy lips, as well as the really nice and graphic liner to just be able to intensify that wing and also just bring a nice shape to the eye. Like I said earlier, I have hooded eyes, so that sometimes makes just eyeshadow such a challenge, but I love this look and I love how it looks, and I think it'll be super cute for going out somewhere where you want to make a statement, or you know, just playing with makeup and just looking super cute while doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, to like this video, leave a comment down below, maybe share some pictures of celebrity inspo looks or makeup looks that you've seen on Instagram that you would love to see me recreate. I am here for it. I find this so much fun. Thank you once again for being here. Have an amazing day and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.